Hello, Marks. Lyssie and Dylan here, talking about wrestling. That's why this podcast is called Talkin Wrasslin. We're going to talk about wrestling, get into some sort of debate, and a lot about figures, apparently, because I'm insane. Who's the host? It's me, because you're hearing me right now. And who's the co-host? It's Dylan, because you don't hear him, but you'll hear him soon enough. So I don't know, sit down, get some snacks, chill out, and let's talk wrestling. All right, here we are.
Hello.
Back for another episode of Talkin Wrasslin.
Sweet 16. It's episode 16.
Sweet 16?
It's the sweet 16th birthday party.
Okay.
Where's my birthday present?
There's no birthday present.
It's no one's birthday.
It's no one's birthday. I don't know why Dylan says this. Hello, everybody. It's Lyssie. And it's and Dylan.
I'm Dylan. Hi.
That's Dylan. All right. So let's break down a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today's episode. Obviously, we're going to be doing a little summary of the week and whatnot, along with some TV things that we watch, but Jesus fucking Christ, we got a lot to talk about in just that retrospect, and just some stuff that has happened throughout the week, wrestling-related wise. Stuff that stuck out to us on Raw, Dynamite. We're talking a little bit about TNA, SmackDown, Backlash, and then the wrestler of the week. But before anything, Dylan, how was your week?
It was pretty good. It's typical week. Work. Hate my life.
Party.
No, not even party. Just work. Hate my life. Watched a lot of wrestling stuff. And now we're here.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. How about you?
Tiresome.
Yeah.
Very tiresome, stressful week that has nothing to do with actual work, nonetheless.
We did go figure hunting.
Yes, that's what I'm about to segue into, with a little bit of background preference. So, as I said about probably a month ago, Ghost is about to attack Dee Dee. That's not what I said about a month ago, but we just moved Ghost because he was in the way, and now he's bullying Dee Dee, our much smaller, younger cat.
They like fighting.
Yeah, he's trying to get him out of his spot that he's laying down in. Ghost, what are you doing?
He's licking him.
I don't think he's licking him. I think he's about to... Yep. I think he's trying to bite him.
These cats are shooting on each other.
They're straight up shooting right now.
Hey, clean fight.
Clean break.
Hey, 1, 2, 3. Get out of the corner.
Anyway, but if you hear any, like, meow, meow in the background, it's Ghost harassing Dee Dee.
We pissed off Ghost before we recorded.
Yeah. So I don't know if Dee Dee's not moving, though. But anyway... So I think I said probably about a month ago on the podcast is there were these... Oh, there they go. All right.
Damn. He swung at him.
Anyway, there were the Walmart exclusive Young Bucks figures that were put out for the Collector's Con, for the pre-orders and whatnot. And I am insane. And I need every single... What did he do?
He sneezed.
And then ran away?
Yeah.
All right. I'm insane. So I need the Young Bucks figures, all of them at any given moment period of time. So, 10 o'clock hits, pre-order, sent, got them, pre-ordered, whatever. However, if any of you are familiar with Walmart pre-orders, they are notoriously terrible. And they like to cancel pre-orders on people. Now,
they fucked on me with Sting before.
Actually, it fucked on me. It was my Sting
that was
pre-order.
True. And then I found the Sting.
But yeah, then Dylan ended up finding it. But anyway, so these figures are set to be delivered May 15th, May 16th, something like that. So in a couple days, they're set to be delivered to the people that have pre-ordered them as per what my Walmart app tells me. The beginning of last week, people were posting on the internet that they were finding these Young Bucks figures at selective Walmarts that they were at. And I'm like, oh, fuck no. Absolutely not. Because now I know they're hitting shelves. My pre-order's going to get canceled. And I'm going to be out these fucking figures. So, with that backstory being said, since Wednesday, because I think I saw the first time I saw it was someone posting on Tuesday night. From Wednesday to today, almost kind of today, I've been waking up early before work. And I have been hitting all the Walmarts in my surrounding area. To no avail, of course, because why the fuck would I have an avail? So I was getting pissed Saturday, because I went out early Saturday, found nothing, and I was getting fucking pissed. And I'm like, Dylan, I'm about to just say fuck this, and we're going to drive up to fucking New Jersey and just go figure hunting tomorrow on Sunday, because we're both off on Sunday. And Dylan's like, that's not a bad idea. And I'm like, no, that is a bad idea. That's fucking insane. Instead, let's take the trip down to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Because there's a lot of Walmarts in the surrounding area. And Allentown is a little bit more populated. So therefore, in my thought process, the stock should be better. So we went down to Allentown on Sunday to go figure hunting. And let me fucking tell you about how much I feel like of a waste of fucking time this was. Because not only did I not fucking find them, we didn't find almost anything.
Found a Chad Gable.
Found a Chad Gable,
which I got.
Elite?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I got. Yeah, we went to 5 Walmarts and
5
Walmarts and 1 Target, because we just went to a Target, and all these Walmarts and even the Target absolutely had nothing.
Literally nothing.
Nothing worth getting.
The only one was, I think, where you got Chad Gable. It was not Greensboro.
The Greensboro.
Not Greensboro.
The Greensboro.
It was
Coliseum.
East Greensville or something. East Greens something in the surrounding area of Allentown, Bethlehem type area.
I also got a Rock shirt. That was at the mall though.
That was at the mall. But yeah, no, there was one that had a decent stock, but not what I was looking for, and that's where Dylan found the Chad Gable, and then was like, fuck it, you know what? I think you were even talking about earlier that day that you wanted it.
Yeah, because, well, on that Saturday beforehand, I went figure hunting, to look for you and also just myself. But I just went to 2 Walmarts, and I got, what did I get?
Bret Hart.
Oh yeah, I got a Bret Hart Ultimate Edition, because I went to the one Walmart that you previously went to where they had the Rocky Maivia, Rocky Johnson, and the Rock 3-pack.
The good one.
Yeah.
The good one.
And I was like, I'm going to go see it in person and maybe get it or whatever. It's not that deep that you didn't get it for me or whatever. I'll just see it in person.
Yeah, it was $70, and I didn't want to spend it not knowing if Dylan wanted it.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just going to go down to that Walmart too and see what they got. And when I went, I saw it and I was like, maybe. And then I saw a bunch of Ultimates and they had a bunch of Kurt Angle Ultimates. But I was like, I'd rather, a perk angle, a bald angle. But then I saw a Bret Hart Ultimate, and I was like, let's fucking go. And they also had Chad Gable there, but I was like, Chad Gable, Bret Hart. I was like, I'm going to get Bret Hart. I was like, I want this Chad Gable, but I will eventually get this Chad Gable. And it was the second to last Walmart we went to on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we literally got nothing. And we were at this Walmart. I was like, my luck, the next Walmart that we go to probably won't fucking have anything. And this Chad Gable is here and it's speaking to me and I'm getting it.
And before I wrap up this, give the conclusion to this, I do want to make a little note. I think this was Thursday. Yeah, because Wednesday was the day I went down. I went to that Walmart that had the Rocky 3-pack. And then I went to a different Walmart on Thursday. And the Walmart that I went to, quite literally across the street, there's a Target. And Dylan was like, hey, if you're going to this area in the morning, go to the Target, check for the Captain Lou figure.
Oh, yeah, because I've been looking for Captain Lou. Mm-hmm. And I could not find Captain Lou for the life of me.
And our Target that's closer to us, now mind you, this other one's not far. It's about 30-40 minutes away, depending on the day, depending on the traffic. So it's not like it's super far away, but nonetheless, our local one that's about 5 minutes away doesn't get fucking shit. So I go to this Target and I walk in and there's a guy in front of me that has this blue shirt on and I walk in behind him and whatnot. And he's moving at a decent pace, but mind you, I have work in the morning. So I'm doing all of this before work and I'm about 30-40 minutes out of the way from work. And I'm like, shit, I need to speed shit up. And not that this guy was walking slow, but I'm like, I got legs that can run. I need to go now because I also have to stop for coffee and then I have to go to work. So are they back to bully each other again?
Dee Dee's ignoring him.
Jesus Christ.
He turned
Dee Dee's trying to go to bed.
Yeah, he turned his back on him and is faking sleeping.
Oh my God. So, no tea to this guy or anything, but I'm like, all right, I gotta book. So I'm like cutting through like the kids section and whatnot to get to the toy aisle. And I guess when I cut through, I eventually got directly in front of this guy. For the most part, directly in front. Like I'm ahead of this guy now. And so I'm beelining, I'm going, I'm shuffling, I'm working that strut, I'm going. And as I'm going, I start hearing somebody behind me pace up a little bit faster. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this guy's following me now. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no, someone's fucking following me. I am 30, 40 minutes away from home. I am terrified right now. This is awful. So I start running faster, walking faster, whatever. And this guy starts picking up speed. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a terrible situation to be in right now. Turn down the aisle for the wrestling figures. He turns down the aisle exactly the same as me, and we both just kind of stopped and looked at each other. And I was wearing my AEW hoodie, and he's like, I saw the back of your hoodie, and I assumed that you knew something good was here. And he was a really fucking cool dude. It was really funny. I did not intend to get into a foot race with another collector. And what he was looking for in the wrestling figures was not what I was looking for, so we didn't, like, get into a fist fight or anything. But he was a really cool dude. He was really funny. It was nice talking to him for a while I did. But long story short, after the foot race, there was one Captain Lou there, and I got that for Dylan. And then I also got the Bryan Danielson Revolution pay-per-view exclusive whatever figure that was there, which I shouldn't have, but I did. So that was fun. That was funny. But to come to a full circle conclusion of the story, I was complaining on Saturday about how I had not found these fucking figures, these Young Bucks figures, to my coworker. And she was going up to her cabin on Sunday, and she was passing the good Walmart that I did already check, nonetheless, but the good Walmart that always gets all the exclusives on the way there and obviously back. So she was like, hey, I'll try this Walmart for you on my way to and from, if you want. And I was like, please fucking do. So, Sunday, don't get a text message from her, in Allentown, depressed, come home with nothing aside from some Japanese snacks. I am in the worst mood of my life ever. Laying in bed this morning, watching Total Drama Island on YouTube, because there's nothing else better that I could be fucking doing with my life. And I get a text message from my coworker, and it says, one image. And immediately, as soon as I saw that text message, I'm like, she's got him. She's fucking got him. So I open the message, and she sent me a picture of the Nick Jackson. And I'm like, fuck, holy shit, is there Matt? And she said, no, I'm just seeing Nick right now. I'm checking, but I'm just seeing Nick. There was no Matts at this Walmart. But nonetheless, I sent her the money, and I was like, pick it up for me, grab it for me for work tomorrow, whatever. And she's like, I was there yesterday on Sunday, and there was nothing, and now there's a lot here today. Maybe Monday's when they do their restocks. And I'm like, that's a really fucking good point. So I texted Dylan. I was like, she found it. Shop mom found Nick. There was no map, but she found Nick. We need to go up to a different Walmart when you get home from work, because what if they have Matt? So I drag Dylan out of the fucking house as soon as he gets home and drive all the way up to this other Walmart. And lo and behold, they fucking had Matt. Thank fucking God. I'm going down the aisle. Dylan's like, oh, it's looking like they don't have anything. It's looking like they don't have anything. And I see the name Matt Jackson, and I just go, and I'm like, yeah! Fuck yeah, dude! Fuck yeah. They had 3 Matts, 1 Nick. But of course, my coworker got me the Nick, so I wasn't too concerned about it that way. But I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Let's fucking go. Fucking finally. So I am thrilled. I am happy. I am over the goddamn moon. And if any of you are listening to this whole spiel and are going to take anything away from this, it is the fact that Walmart seems to restock their toys, or at least wrestling figures, on Mondays.
Don't tell them, because they're probably fucking scalpers, and if you're a fucking scalper, fuck you. Fucking assholes.
Nonetheless, beat the scalpers, and if you see them, if you see somebody walking through your local Walmart with 10 of the same figure, beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, beat the shit out of them.
Because they don't need 10.
Honestly, beat the shit out of them.
You see any more than 2, like someone walking out with 2, confront them. If you see 10, beat them up.
And also, my biggest pet peeve is when there's tag teams available and you only find one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
this was a tag team effort of getting these.
Because, like, They had, like, when Santana and Ortiz came out, there was the common thing between me and my friends. We would always just find either Santana or Ortiz. When FTR came out, it was, why the fuck is it Dax and not Cash? Like, why is it just one?
Well, technically...
Fuck you.
Technically at the other Walmart, the one that we went to today, there was a Nick and a Matt, but there was only one Nick and there was 3 Matts. So that's weird. That was weird. But nonetheless, I got them. I'm thrilled.
And also, dear Walmart and Target, do better at your fucking getting your shipment.
Yeah. Seriously, because Jesus fucking Christ. But I didn't even cancel my Walmart pre-order. I probably should. But nonetheless, last time I checked, it didn't ship out. However, if it did ship out...
Nah, fuck it.
Now I have a problem.
let it get shipped out, and then fucking just, sell them for, like, a amount...
No, you know what I was actually kind of debating on doing?
Be like all those assholes.
But I don't know if it's actually a good idea or not. So I was debating, talking to my one coworker, Pat, about this the other day, that if I did end up finding these figures in store, and my pre-order ended up shipping out after I've gotten them in store... I was like, what if I did like a raffle for them? Like if I did a raffle on Twitter.
Okay, Christine.
No, like not scam people out of it, but like what if I did a raffle where it was like $5 tickets, like one per person or something, and and then randomly choose a winner and then just ship them out to somebody to A, get my money back, and B, to maybe help some nice little collector out there.
I honestly don't like that idea, and I'll explain that to you off air.
Well, no, I do think, like, my biggest concern about it was, like, which I've also had a concern about, like, selling my artwork online type of thing, is, like, I don't want people having my address.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. So, yeah, I'm going to put a kaput to that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, my initial thought was that, and... Then I was like, well, I could also just return them if they got shipped out. I could just return them and get my money back. But, like, I don't know. I'd want someone who would appreciate them to have them, but I don't have any friends that like the Young Bucks that much.
Speaking of return and figures and whatnot, if you're one of those fucking assholes that takes a figure out of the box and puts another figure or pieces of figures in another box and returns it, you're a scumbag. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, poor Bryce.
Anyway. We got a show to do.
All right, well, I guess I'll stop talking about my ideas with you. Let's get into the Rivals episodes that we watched this week, which I did not pay attention to this first one at all. Was Stone Cold versus Booker T.
Yes.
So you talk about this while you hand me my drink.
I kind of remember this because this is when my ears were starting to get blocked, and I had to deal with that and figure out how to handle that, which we did. My ears are no longer blocked. I had to clean the shit out of my ears. But Stone Cold versus Booker T. This is the infamous rivalry of the Supermarket Brawl.
Yes.
If you remember the Supermarket Brawl, it's pretty much the classic WCW guy comes over from WCW closing, the invasion, and he's taking on the top dog of the World Wrestling Federation, the Fed. Can't wait to piss people off there. And fun fact, when Booker T debuted, he put Stone Cold through an announce table. And when he did, Stone Cold landed on, like, a chair and, like, fucked up his back. So, like, first day on the job, Booker T fucked up the golden guy. And, like, he was so scared and everything. But it's one of those classic rivalries. The best thing to come out of this rivalry, there was one segment where Stone Cold goes to confession. Mm-hmm. And Booker T's there. And then the Supermarket Brawl, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah, everyone knows about the Supermarket Brawl.
But it's just one of those classic rivalries of WCW versus WWF.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I was doing when this one was on. I know I just was not paying enough attention to it to really say much about it, but yeah. All right, I guess let's just go to the next one then, because I could talk maybe a little bit more about this one. Another Rivals that we watched last night, John Cena versus Batista.
Yes.
I love Batista.
The classic, for our age of growing up in the Ruthless Aggression era, this is like the rivalry.
Yeah.
Also, John Cena and Orton's is the rivalry too, but it seemed like everyone was either a John Cena fan or a Batista fan. I was a John Cena fan. I was a John Cena kid.
Yeah, this is when
And you were a Batista kid.
Yeah, when we were watching this, I was like, maybe this is why I didn't give too much of a shit about Cena growing up. Like, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, in my age now, I appreciate John Cena, and, I know how great John Cena was, but when I was growing up, I never really gave two shits about him. I was just like, yeah, it's fine. He's like, does that hand movement in the face and stuff, but Batista
is a
badass.
It's cool how, like, their careers were parallel. They started in OVW together. They pretty much got called up around the same time. They were both on SmackDown for a little bit. Batista got moved over to Raw, was an Evolution. Cena became the Doctor of Thugonomics, was on SmackDown. They both, WrestleMania 21, Batista wins, the Royal Rumble 2005, where Vince rips his quads. There was that. They were the final two. Batista wins the Rumble. WrestleMania 21, Batista wins the World title. John Cena wins the WWE title. And then John Cena gets drafted over to the Raw. Batista gets drafted over to SmackDown. And then it was 2008 where they finally were able to, like, meet one-on-one. They became tag team champions for a very short time. I remember that. That was fucking insane. They had a match at SummerSlam. And then they had a really fun trilogy in 2010, which was, like, the closing days of Batista's, like, full-time run. They had the match at Mania 26. They had the last man standing match with a very creative finish of John Cena duct taping Batista to the ring post. And then the I Quit match where John Cena gave the AA to Batista through the stage. And now they're both Hollywood stars.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's kind of crazy how the parallels worked.
No, I always grew up liking Batista. Dylan was even asking me the other day. He was like, oh, what was your favorite Batista match? And I'm like, dude, I don't even think I could really fucking tell you. Because, like, when I was, again, my memory's shot, and especially when I was younger, like, I wasn't necessarily remembering or paying attention to the matches. I was like, the guy that I like is on TV, and I'm watching the guy, and I just fucking love Batista. Like, he was a fucking badass dude who looked, like, dope as shit, and I don't know. I just thought he was a mean-looking motherfucker, and he really, like, he just drew me in. Like, anytime he was on TV, he just fucking drew me in. I fucking love him. And he's a great guy, too. Like, I mean, obviously, like, I've never met him personally or whatever. But just hearing about him in interviews and everything like that, like, he just sounds like a really down-to-earth fucking cool dude, which is awesome to always fucking hear. So, I always have a big soft spot in my heart for Dave Batista.
When I did my little stint in professional wrestling school, I got to hear a lot of stories about Batista because my trainers trained with Batista at the same school. I did not, if you know where Batista was trained and everything, I was not trained by the Wild Samoans. Batista was, and my trainers were trained by the Wild Samoans, and they were all in the same class and everything, so I constantly got to hear stories about how Batista thought he was top notch all the time and everything, and he would get a pass on certain things and whatnot, and I still let's start controversy already. How long are we on? 23 minutes in? I listened to Jim Cornette's podcast. So Jim Cornette, if you know, was an OVW, and Batista he tried doing the same thing in OVW. Like, he always there was a very funny story of when Batista became Leviathan, the demon of the deep and everything. He had long locks of hair, but he shaved it bald and everything, and he would always complain when they had to do, like, the shoots in the Ohio Valley River, and he would be like, I'm sick, Jim, I'm sick, because he's bald and it was cold out or whatever, and Jim Cornette would be like, motherfucker, no you're not, shut up. But it was just funny hearing those stories, and, like, how Batista just was, back in the day, was a prima donna.
I always... Whenever Dylan would tell me, like when he was in wrestling school and whatnot, about, like, how his trainers, like, knew Batista very well and whatnot, I told him, I was like, all right, so if you ever catch wind of a seminar where Batista's gonna be there, can you hide me in your bag? Just so, like, I could pop up and be like, hi, big fan, hello. And just meet him, because I want to meet him really bad.
He never did a seminar. They talked about it, but they were like, it's going to be impossible to ever get him.
Yeah, but I always joked with Dylan. I was like, well, if you ever catch wind, let me hide in your bag because I want to meet him really bad. But yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy that it took, like, till this episode of WWE Rivals for me to be like, maybe that's why I never cared about Cena much, because I cared more about Batista. Like, I was too busy watching him. But yeah, no, again, as time went on, of course, again, you know, I respect Cena. Still not the biggest John Cena fan on the planet, but nonetheless, you know, he's one of a kind. So
I love John Cena. I love Batista. It's classic rivalry.
Moving on to Most Wanted Treasures. Another thing I didn't pay attention to because I don't fucking...
This was such a random episode.
I don't care about him.
This was such a random episode to have for Most Wanted Treasures.
The Most Wanted Treasures episode about The Miz.
Yeah, this was just really random. Like, imagine... like, I like The Miz because he is a good heel. People hate him. He's a good heel. Enough said. I'm enjoying what he's doing with Awesome Truth. But it's just random that, like, you walk into this collector's house and, like, he has, like, Hulk Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair stuff. Oh, and here's the Miz trunks. Like, what?
Like, here's my thing about Miz, right? I get it, like, yeah, good heel, whatever. But Miz, to me, is only good when he has another person, i.e. R-Truth, i.e. Morrison.
Yeah.
I only ever gave a fuck about the Miz when it was Miz and Morrison. That was it.
The thing I enjoyed about this episode, though, was Miz gave them his classic look of the capri pants that he wore. Like, that's what I like. Like, the Miz with the faux hawk, the capri pants, and just looking like straight up 2007 garbage. Love it.
I hate him.
The best version of the Miz. The chick magnet Miz.
Yeah, I was not paying enough attention to the Miz's episode because, again, there's a lot that I could care about more than the Miz, and that probably was TikTok at the time.
It was just this random Most Wanted Treasures episode to have. Like, of all the people, the Miz.
Yeah.
Like, really weird.
But one that made a little bit more sense was the Most Wanted Treasures episode about Triple H.
Yeah, this one was cool.
That one was really cool, and I do appreciate that the whole time we're watching it, we're both like, he had to have had more than one sledgehammer, right? Like,
yeah.
Of course there had to have been more
than one.
There
had to be more than one. But of course they find the sledgehammer. They found his SummerSlam 98 gear and his Greenwich Blue Snob debut gear.
Which was really cool. Like, I mean, I think they did a whole episode on DX before.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting much, like, just DX stuff. So I was happy to see that they were just doing, like,
it's
his
just,
other part of his
You
career.
said it, like when they're showing him the stuff, he's like, "Oh wow, yeah, that's cool. Oh wow," and it's
he just has no care in the
It's
world.
like, is this dude ever excited about it?
Like, he owned the company. He owns the company basically now, and he's like, "Shit, I can't have any emotion ever again. There's no way for me to ever show any sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Not weakness." But to be open and to be vulnerable, I must be straight-faced.
We were cracking jokes of, like, you think, like, him and Sean, like, they definitely probably travel together. Like, you think, like, they're at, like, a hotel and, like, Sean will go, "Yo, they got a continental breakfast."
Yeah, and they're all hyped about the free continental breakfast, but then they also pick on each other, like Sean gets blueberry pancakes and Triple H is just like, "Oh, blueberries again? You need to be watching your sugar." Like,
yeah,
there's like a married couple.
Sean being like, "Telling me about watching sugar, you got a pacemaker."
I swear
Triple H
they
making fun of his lazy eye. Sean, I'm over here.
It's like, for the 5th time, Sean, I understand that not everyone's about the grind, but I guess I made a mistake with Ospreay. I get it. You don't have to keep bringing it up.
He didn't make a mistake by trashing Sean Ross Sapp, so that's a plus.
That was kind of funny.
That's a plus.
Moving on, though, to one that we actually just finished watching probably about 20 minutes ago because we had a whole problem with this.
Yeah, Hulu fucked on me on this one.
The Dusty Rhodes Most Wanted Treasure.
This was a good one.
Because, well, let's explain the Hulu situation. So if any of you missed it and are watching Most Wanted Treasures and stuff on Hulu and are wondering, like we were, like, isn't there supposed to be a Dusty Rhodes episode? Or why is it going from episode 1 to episode 3? At least on our Hulu, for some reason, it put it in season 2.
Yes.
So it's season 2, episode 2. I don't know why it's there because it's not supposed to be.
So there was commercials, obviously, of them promoting this episode. And I was like, oh, cool, that's going to be a cool one to watch, the Dusty Rhodes one. And then, like, the Miz one happened, and then the Triple H one happened. I was like, where the fuck's the Dusty Rhodes one? So I looked at last night, and I thought I was tripping, and I was in season 3 of Hulu, and I was like, it goes episode 1, episode 3, and episode 4. And then I did my Monday morning routine thing at work. Jim Cornette Experience dropped, so I'm gonna listen to the Experience, and he's talking about Dusty Rhodes' Most Wanted Treasures, and I'm like, how the fuck did this motherfucker see it? And he's talking about Dusty's booking books, and I'm like, motherfucker, I really want to see this episode because of the booking books, because like that's just really fucking cool. And then when we were driving up to Walmart, I checked Hulu, and I was like, let me see something. I went to season 2, and it's in season 2.
Yeah, super weird. I don't know why that happened. Hulu likes to kind of fuck things up. Like, it did that with the Quiet on Set documentaries.
Yeah.
Docuseries, too. Like,
it went like episode 1, 2, 4, 3 or something.
well, yeah,
like
but
that.
it was labeled wrong,
Yeah.
so it was super weird. But I don't know. Again, that might just, I don't think it's just our Hulu, but it's just odd. So if you were wondering, if any of you are listening and wanted to watch a Dusty Rhodes episode,
Let's go to season 2.
Go to season 2, episode 2. It's there. You'll find it.
Yeah.
And if it's not there and it's not in season 3, then I don't know how to help you. I really don't.
But it was a cool one. Fuck that guy that didn't want to give up the polka dots to Cody.
Yeah, I don't.
His son.
I never understand that with this show, especially when like, okay, so if Cody Rhodes, and I'm not a Cody Rhodes guy, I'm not.
I am.
But if for whatever reason, right, we had some Dusty Rhodes memorabilia in the house, in the apartment, and Cody Rhodes showed up at my doorstep, I'd be like, no, this is yours. Here you go. Please make sure that you get this after everything. Like, I want this to go home with you. Like, don't give me money. Please just take this right now. Like, it's or like the dude with the boots, right? Like, if before even being able to say anything, if someone offered me money for it, then sure, fine. But like, just take it.
Yeah.
Like, just take it. Like, you can't have the guy's son show up to your house and just be like, no, it's mine, actually.
Like, yeah, your dad's dead. This is mine.
Yeah, you can't have
like,
it. Like,
what a piece of shit.
that pisses me off. Like, I don't fucking understand how people could, like, I don't know. And like, I get it. Like, they're not always gonna have a family member with them and whatnot. But like, especially if his son showed up at my doorstep, I'd be like, I cannot say no to him. There's to me, like, there's yeah, something might mean a lot to me and might have a lot of value to me, but the amount of value it has to me is probably times like 1,000,000 to this fucking guy. Like, there's no comparison at that point about how much something could mean to me in comparison to him, and I just feel like that's the right thing to do.
They got the polka dot gear.
It was on loan though. Yeah.
His classic boots, because they're cowboy boots. Like, his ring boots were cowboy boots that were made for wrestling. So that was cool with the PWI magazine, because it was like a giveaway. And then the thing that I liked the most and found very, very, very fucking interesting was the booking books.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those things are really fucking cool, because it's literally, you're opening a portal to this guy's mind.
Yeah.
You're seeing, like, oh, this is what he was thinking on this day in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I like that stuff. That's why I like listening to like old timer podcasts like Cornette, even Bruce Pritchard, Bischoff. Oh God, I listen to a lot of problematic people.
Yeah,
but,
you probably shouldn't.
It's fine. Or even like Mick Foley too and stuff like that. But that's why, or Tony Schiavone. Like, I like listening to like these old timers podcasts, because like you get it to go into the mind of it and stuff like that. Of like that shit. Like, bro, if Cody Rhodes came up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to look at Dusty's 1986 booking book?" Abso-fucking-lutely. Please let me read page to page, because my God, that shit is that's a gold mine to have. And honestly, I'm glad Cody had them.
Yeah, of all people, I'm glad Cody does have them.
I'm glad Cody had them. But those are just so cool, because Dusty's not here with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way you can get into the mind of Dusty is either from Cody or Dustin or these booking books. And it's just really cool. And if you watch the episode, Cody explains it a lot of like, Dusty was a creator of a lot of things, war games, and they're like, he wasn't the creator of Hell in the Cell or Elimination Chamber, but that's kind of a spin-off of war games.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody is right. He did say one thing. There really isn't such a thing as a booker anymore.
Yeah.
You have creative now. You have a whole creative team. You have, I don't know, like all these other fucking things. You don't have one guy just booking something anymore. You don't. You have all the other shit. Like Dusty booked a lot for Championship Wrestling in Florida and Jim Crockett Promotions, and it's just really cool. I that stuff I like, and that's kind of, and the reason why I like that stuff, because when I booked backyard wrestling stuff, that's the stuff I gravitated towards, of like, what did these guys do? How did these guys book? And then that's what I kind of did. And I even told Lissy, I was like, you can probably go in that closet right now. I was like, there's probably still stuff on my phone too, to be honest with you, but you could probably go in that closet right now and find a couple of notebooks with like ideas that I have written down of like booking shit, because and it's just backyard wrestling stuff, so it means jack of all shit, but like, it means something to me, I guess, that it's just there, you know what I mean? I haven't thrown it away because, like, oh, this is what I was thinking about around this time, about for, like, X, Y, and Z. Which is cool.
Yeah.
What did you think of Dusty Rhodes and all that stuff?
I mean, I thought it was a cool episode. I was just getting pissed off about the people that wouldn't want to give their shit up. Like, I don't give a fuck about how much money you spent on it. Like, fuck you. Like,
yeah.
First of all, right, here's the thing. Yeah, I get it that shit's not cheap, whatever. Like, the dude with the polka dot gear was like, yeah, I spent $10,000 on this. Okay, cool, that's awesome. But, like, dude, if I had a spare $10,000 to be spending on stuff right now, like, my life would have been fucking changed already. So clearly $10,000 to you, and in comparison to the mass amount of collection that you have, is, like, has to be some sort of pocket change to you.
My favorite thing, he was like, I like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, but
so if you guys got something in the old, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, it's just like, to me, it's like, dude, you're saying this of like, you have all of this fucking shit surrounding you. Like, clearly, I get it that like there's got to be some sort of like emotional attachment to this thing, and it's not always just about the money. But like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine having this incredible fucking collection of stuff, and one of the persons whose stuff I have's sons comes to me and is like, I would like this back to show off to the fans, and be like, well, no, it's my thing now. Dude, you have 100,000 other things.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I really do, but I feel like, dude, I mean, I don't know, like, maybe it's one of those things where it's like, you never know until you're in that position, but like, dude, if I had some of the fucking Young Bucks gear and they came to my doorstep and were like, hey, we're doing this thing and we want this gear back, I'd be like, alrighty, well,
like,
it was fun while it lasted, but here you go, I guess.
I have a signed Vampiro figure from Mexico, from his time in Mexico, signed by Vampiro. If he showed up, which that would be fucking crazy to begin with, that'd be enough for me. But if he showed up and was like, hey, I understand you have this, so Vampiro, if you're hearing this podcast and you show up at the house, just listen to the end. I'll give away my Instagram, and you can hit me up there. I'll give you the Addy. But if he showed up, I'd be like, here you go, absolutely, here, take it. I just want a picture with you.
Yeah, no, it's like, I don't know, like, again, I get it, and like, I get that having this stuff is neat, and again, dropping money on it's like, you know, it's not fun, the amount of money you're going to be spending on this type of shit, but, like, I have more than enough respect for these wrestlers that, of stuff, like, I'd want to be collecting, that if they were to come to me and be like, I need this back for X, Y, and Z, I mean, realistically, I probably wouldn't even need a fucking reason, because it's like, alright, well, this was yours, and yeah, sure, I bought it, but, like, you're asking for this back? Absolutely.
It's just crazy, like, it's just baffles me. Like, I obviously I know, like, how people get the shit or what, but it just baffled me of, like, how do you get this shit?
Yeah. I want to know what type of job these people...
Yeah.
Like, what jobs do you have?
Like, how do you have all of this shit? Like, how do you have a whole room?
In this economy?
Like, you have Ric Flair robes, Dusty Rhodes trunks, fucking Triple H boots. Like, how?
How, where, why, and what is your profession? Because can I get a fucking job there?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. But moving on from that, I guess we're going to talk a little bit about this, about Who Killed WCW, a 4-part docuseries premieres June 4th on Vice, which I can't believe it takes 4 parts for us to just say it was Vince Russo's fault. Anyway, next.
Oh, man, that's
next one.
Oh, man. Another WCW documentary. Sure, I guess. Cool.
Did we need it?
Not really, but am I gonna watch it? Yeah. Because it's gonna be funny. The Rock's producing it. But it's gonna be funny, because of like the people that they're interviewing. They're definitely interviewing Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff, so that's already funny to begin with.
We're not gonna get an answer. They're just gonna argue back and forth for 4 parts.
Ric Flair is not being interviewed for it. He's going off about it on Twitter, which is very funny. Speaking of Ric Flair, since we're on topic Ric Flair, supposedly he did suffer like a heart attack in his last match. So that's saying something of Rick. Maybe he shouldn't be fucking wrestling. And also he started trouble. He ordered like $1,500 worth of pizza and drinks, and got pissed off at the owner. Ric Flair's a fucking disaster right now.
What do you mean he ordered $15 worth of pizza and drinks?
I don't know.
How much pizza do you eat?
I just follow Ric Flair on Twitter for the shits and giggles anymore. But yeah, 4-part docuseries on WCW of what killed WCW. I can't wait because it's gonna be something.
His name rhymes with Rince Russo.
His name is Shit Stain, as Jim Cornette would say.
You are referencing him way too much in this episode for my liking. Anyway, moving on to
we're gonna get canceled.
Dark Side of the Ring episode, The Sandman.
This was such a good episode.
What a wild guy.
I've been waiting for this episode. Fun fact for the people out there. I once wrestled a show in front of the Sandman. And we'll get into that story in a second. Lissy, ask me that question once we're done talking about the Dark Side of the Ring episode of the Sandman, because I think it's a very funny story.
Okay. Well, I don't really know what much there is to say about this aside from think about the Sandman. And that's the episode.
Yeah.
Because that's really it. Like, think about him.
He's crazy.
Really think about him. Okay, there you go. That's your episode.
He's crazy. He was a male stripper.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot of drugs. Then his original gimmick was pretty much a surfer. And then he forgot his boots. Yeah, boots. It was his boots. And then that's where the Sandman that everyone knows and loves just came to be. He just fucking wore his street clothes. He came through the crowd, drank beer, smoked cigarettes. Daddy, you're drunk. I worship Raven now. Yeah, we got a Raven cameo.
I love Raven.
Finally, we got a Raven cameo on a Dark Side of the Ring, so that was cool. We got Sabu said it best, because honestly, I feel the same way. I would trust Sandman to only wrestle me when he's drunk and not sober.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. The Sandman's not the best wrestler.
No, but he's a cool motherfucker.
But he's a cool motherfucker. I love watching the Sandman. I'm an ECW mark. Come on. The Sandman he comes through the crowd, he drinks beer, he smokes cigarettes, and swings a fucking Singapore cane. What else more do you need to do?
The Sandman is ECW.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's literally what it was.
Like, the Sandman is the embodiment.
Paul Heyman was a creative genius. He knew what he was doing with the Sandman. And
really, the Sandman was born because he forgot his boots, and Paul Heyman said, I don't give a fuck that you forgot your boots.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's all it took.
And then, obviously, the sad tale of it, like, he had trouble with drugs and alcohol and stuff. He's doing a lot better now. He has his own podcast, which is actually very fun. It's called the Sandman Podcast. It's a very, very fun podcast. And Lissy asked me the most important question of this whole fucking thing.
Well, I was about to get there. You don't have to tell me to do it. So Dylan, can you tell us a story about the time you met the Sandman?
So we wrestled. So there was this show. It's called WTW. What does WTW stand for, you might ask?
White Trash Wrestling.
White Trash Wrestling. I'm not even joking. I'll give them the plug because there are some cool guys there. And cool. And they gave us a cool opportunity. They were running this show in Philadelphia. They're from Delaware, but they were running the show in Philadelphia. And it was a weed convention. It was called Reefer Madness. And 4 of us from our inner circle got booked on the show. Me, Bryce, Jacob Yeager, and Cheeks. And we all got booked. We had a fatal 4-way match. I once had the video public on YouTube. Maybe one day I'll eventually release it public again and whatnot. But I got some good views and everything. But we had a fatal 4-way match. It was a very fun match. It was pretty fun. It was cold as fuck in there, though. It was really cold. It was February, but they had a special guest. The Sandman was going to be there, which he was. We wrestled in front of him, and he really enjoyed what we did and everything. Mind you, this company is a deathmatch company. We were the only match to not do anything deathmatch-wise, and the Sandman enjoyed it. But... So, we had the match, and, like, we met him beforehand and everything, like, we went up to him and was like, hey, good to meet you and everything, and we're in our gear, and he's like, you guys wrestling tonight and everything, and it was just cool meeting him. Very chill dude, very nice, very down to earth and whatnot. Very complimental, like, he complimented everything. He was buying weed and stuff, as you were able to do at this convention. I bought, Sour Patch Kid gummies, edibles.
Didn't you guys also buy like Japanese Oreos and Jaeger thought they were weed?
Yeah, so I bought they had like Japanese snacks there, so I bought Japanese Oreos. And our friend Jacob Yeager, he's not a weed smoker, but he's a drinker, and man, he was pissed because the beer prices were fucking
$12 for a fucking beer.
He was pissed about it. He was so pissed that the beer was $12. I don't blame him, but. So I bought Oreos because I was hungry and I wanted to eat something before we wrestled. And so I bought Oreos, Japanese Oreos, and we're sitting there and Jaeger's looking at these Oreos and I knew what he was going to ask. Like I was like, you want one, Jaeger? And he's like, they're not weed, right? And I'm like, no. And he's like, but like, why does it look different? I'm like, because they're Japanese Oreos. I was like, that's why I just spent like $8 on these.
Oh, is this weed? No, it's Japanese.
Yeah. And I was like, so I won't get high. And I'm like, no. Which he ended up did. He got a fucking second-hand high. I could tell this whole story if you want me to. But I was like, do you want me to eat one now? And you can come back to me in 30 minutes and ask how I'm okay? And he's like, yeah. So I ate one. Jaeger ended up having an Oreo. Because they weren't edibles. But we have the match.
I'm sorry, because I wasn't there for this, but I'm just envisioning Jaeger, like, trying to read it, because it's in Japanese, and the immediate thought in his head goes, I don't understand what it's saying, so it must say weed.
Pretty much. Jaeger's wild.
But continue about the Sandman.
But, so, we have the match, and next thing you know, and, like, they have food vendors there. And that's a big... Like, I know I just randomly said that, but this connects the dots to everything. So we have the match. And the next thing you know, like, we're sitting there, and it's, like, intermission or whatever. And, like, there's, like, this whole, like, big, like, hubbub going on. We're in the back. Like, we're out and about with all the people. Like, we're not, like, backstage or whatever. But, like, we're just hanging out, like, in the back corner or whatever, because we're just all talking, like, oh, we had, like, pretty good match and everything and whatnot. And, like, we're deciding if we want to leave because, like, it was a very bad part of Philly. Mm-hmm. So, like, we were nervous that the car wasn't there to begin with. So we're like, maybe we should leave. Like, we have a long drive home and whatnot. Like, maybe we'll stay, like, for a couple more matches and whatnot and then kind of just, like, head out and whatever. And, like, this whole hubbub happens of, like, we see people, like, arguing, and then we're like, where the fuck did the Sandman go? And, like, we're looking like, man, where did the Sandman go? That kind of sucks. Like, I don't know if he was supposed to be a part of the show or anything, but, like, there was meet and greet passes.
He was advertised.
Yeah, there was meet and greet passes for him and everything. And I'm not this is the most Sandman thing. I'm not shitting on the Sandman or anything. But it was, like, the weirdest fucking thing ever. Because we're like, where the fuck did the Sandman go? And so Bryce goes up to the guy that's running the show, because Bryce is more so, like, he's more of the people person, mm-hmm. and he's like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. So I go up with Bryce, because, like, I was just walking around with Bryce, and he's like, yo, like, what the fuck happened to the Sandman? Like, he's like, did he just head out, or like, is he outside smoking or something? And then the guy goes, nah, his friends got into an argument with the taco stand people, so he left with his friends. Yeah. There was a taco stand, I guess, and the Sandman had his posse, like, it was a couple of people, and I guess they got into an argument about something. I don't know what the argument was about, but they got an argument with the taco stand people, and they got kicked out. Not the Sandman, but the Sandman's friends got kicked out for starting problems with the taco stand people. So Sandman was like, pretty much like, well, if you're kicking out my friends, fuck this, I'm gone too.
Yeah.
And they just left. and like, that was it. It was so random. And then Jaeger got contact high, and on the way home, he was fucked. And we had to call his girlfriend and let her know that we're dropping him off, and he's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
And he was fucked up. I too was tripping because I had edibles, but that's besides the point. It was a fun, wild, weird trip.
I just think it's funny that Jaeger thought that the Japanese Oreos contained marijuana.
This trip was just completely weird. We're driving down, it's during the day. Yeah, we're going to Philly. Cool show and everything. We get to the venue. We take one turn. One turn.
How it is in Philly?
We take one turn. Everything's fine. Cool, like, everything's fine. We take one turn. Mind you, we're told to be there early as fuck for this show. The show does not start until like 6. We're told to be there like for 1. But we left early. It's like noon. Right? The ring isn't there yet. So we have time to kill. But we found that out as soon as we take this turn. We take this turn, and Bryce is like, we're going to find like a Target or something and killing time, because if I park this car, we're not getting home. Yeah. Because the car's gonna be stolen. Mm-hmm. And like, I think every hour we were there, because like, obviously we went to the show and everything, but like, once we parked the car, there wasn't like a parking lot. We had to park on the road or whatever. Every hour, one of us would go out to make sure the car was still there with all 4 tires and windows and everything. Lyssie wasn't there for this.
No.
It was Bryce's ex's car, so we were like, oh fuck, like it was like, man, what happens?
Well, because she was like the only one with a car that would have made it down there to begin with. Like,
yeah. Well, and we needed someone to go, because the 4 of us are booked for this, all in one match, and we wanted someone to record for us. Yeah. So, but man, it was a wild trip, and that is my fun Sandman story. Mm-hmm. It was something.
It sure was.
And it was a fun Fatal 4-Way.
Moving on.
I got called Eddie Van Halen.
Yes. Moving on. Ethan Page is no longer with AEW or Ring of Honor.
That's the biggest crime ever.
That is upsetting. I love Ethan Page, you know. I mean, I hope wherever he ends up, he does great things. I know he will, because he's a fan-fucking-tastic wrestler.
I hope he goes back to TNA and reunites with Josh Alexander.
I just think it's sad he wasn't utilized to his full potential in AEW. But, like, actually, we were kind of talking about this the other day. Like, granted, I get it, but, I miss Dan Lambert.
I do.
I miss him a lot, because when I first started watching AEW was like, what was it? What were they? Men of the Year?
Men of the Year.
Men of the Year. That's when that was happening. And I remember I was like, I fucking hate this guy. I was like, I hate Dan Lambert. He's fucking annoying. I hate him so much.
We couldn't have Jim Cornette on AEW. Well, we had Dan Lambert.
And then after he was gone, I was like, man, I'm really upset. I miss him a lot. But
yeah, Dan Lambert was cool as fuck.
Dan Lambert was so fucking good. I loved him. And I liked it too, though, because when Ethan Page was with them, he was on TV more. You know what I mean? And then right after Men of the Year stopped, it seemed like Ethan Page just kind of was coasting around for a little bit. And, like, I feel like that's a shame, because he's really fucking good. And he's got the look for TV. He's a great looking fucking guy. He could talk.
The last, like, cool thing he did in AEW, he wrestled MJF and he wrestled Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about it. Like, he was stuck in Ring of Honorville, which that means nothing anymore, unfortunately. And yeah, hopefully he finds work. He will.
No, he definitely will. Again, he's fucking great, but it's just a shame.
See you in NXT in a few months.
Hey, maybe, I don't know.
That'd be dope.
But on the last thing of the agenda before we get into this week's of wrestling shows, piece of shit, Gable Stevenson has been released by WWE.
Thank fuck.
Did I pronounce that name right?
Yeah.
Stevenson?
Yeah. Thank fuck. He was an Olympian, and he has some sexual assault allegations against him. They never did anything with him. They signed him. He was supposed to be the next Kurt Angle pretty much because he was an Olympian, and usually, like, if you're an Olympian, you should be able to wrestle. But he got signed to NXT, and he had like one match in NXT against Baron Corbin. Everyone shit on it. It was really bad. He had a couple of dark matches. Everyone shit on it because he's really bad. He just wasn't picking up on the shit, and thank God they finally just fucking released him.
I don't get why they're trying to make him the next Kurt Angle when Chad Gable's there.
Yes, exactly.
Like, that makes no sense. You have your new Kurt Angle.
Exactly. I think that's what they're doing now, but thank God he's fucking gone. And also, thank God Drew Gulak's gone. He wasn't released. His contract just wasn't renewed, which thank God he's fucking gone too, because there's so much. Did you see like the video going around? He intentionally had a match and he spiked someone on their head.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
You can tell he picks them up for like a typical scoop slam, but you can tell he hesitates to pick them up more, so when he drops them, he just drops them right on their head. Drew Gulak, everyone. Fucking piece of shit.
Anyway, let's move on to Raw.
This was night 2 of the draft. And what a weird episode of Raw.
These two fucking names in the same sentence is the last thing I want to be saying.
For context, Monday Night Raw was from Kansas City, Missouri, the home of the Super Bowl defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Lissy.
Which leads me into Patrick Mahomes and Logan Paul.
Patrick Mahomes was on Monday Night Raw. It was very weird. Patrick Mahomes gave Logan Paul all 3 of his Super Bowl rings, which, mind you, one of those Super Bowl rings is when he defeated the Philadelphia Eagles. And he hit JD McDonough with them, JD Funko Pop with them. He handed Logan Paul a whole dynasty. Technically, a whole dynasty.
I think because the show opened with this, and I think the show opened with Logan Paul.
I show speed.
Like it was like a video or whatever. No, it wasn't that. It was like the fucking entering the arena type videos. I think it was Logan Paul. And the second the episode started, I was like, oh great, Logan Paul. And then immediately Patrick Mahomes showed up, and I'm like, why the fuck is he here? I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes.
Bro is playing a heel in his hometown, technically. Which
Dude,
is very
I hate
funny.
him. His helmet doesn't look like it fits his fucking head. He sounds stupid. And he runs like he's bi-curious. I hate him. I hate him so much. And mind you, again, I'm a part of the LGBTQ plus community, all right? So I'm saying that in the retrospect of a bisexual person. He runs like he's bi-curious. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
It was just funny.
He's so stupid.
It's just funny that Patrick Mahomes was there and he was playing the heel.
Anyway, oh yeah, right. You did say this was the draft. I'm like, what does this say? And I now am reading it properly.
Yeah, this was crazy.
I show speed announcing CM Punk being drafted to Raw was something I never thought would ever happen.
For context, if you guys didn't watch the draft, they have special guests announce the draft picks, Hall of Famers and stuff. But they had Logan Paul and I Show His Speed fucking announce the 3rd round of the draft picks or whatever, or 2nd round or something. I just never thought I Show Speed, a streamer, a YouTuber, announcing CM Punk drafted the Raw.
I agree. I'm watching Didi right now.
He's looking out the window.
No, he keeps trying to. He's on this tiny little ledge on our dresser, and he's trying to figure out how to sit down, but he can't because there's not enough room. So he's half sitting, and he keeps squatting to try and sit, but then he can't.
The cat's dumb.
Dee, just go on the ledge.
There you go. He's listening.
That's the first time he's ever listened to me. All right.
For context, the cat's dumb.
He's not a smart cat.
Yeah. And I'm allowed to say that about my cat. He's my cat.
But yeah, I mean, that's cool and all, I guess.
This episode was just really weird.
Really weird fucking episode. Like, the draft episodes always feel really weird because, like, again, I always say this about WWE's, like, television shows and not their pay-per-views of, like, every episode just feels like, all right, we just got to get to the next pay-per-view. We just got to get to the next pay-per-view. And feels like it doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of thought put into it.
But this was technically the go-home show to Backlash.
Yeah.
Which was just even more weird.
But yeah, the draft, like, it feels like that, but on crack. It's just like, okay, like, here's a filler match, and then the draft picks.
Yeah.
So it was just a weird fucking episode.
Especially with, like, this draft. Like, I know I have it written down after the next thing we're going to talk about, but we can just talk about right now. Like, what was the point of the draft when 90% of the people getting drafted were just staying, like, are literally on the same brand?
Yeah.
Like, there was a few NXT call-ups, and then a few people changed brands. Like, Braun Breaker went from SmackDown to Raw. Nia Jax went from Raw to SmackDown. Like, there's, like, other people, but, like, 90% of the people, like, Punk was already on Raw, Drew was already on Raw. All the champions were ineligible. Orton and Kevin Owens stayed on SmackDown. The Bloodline stayed. It's just, it was just a weird thing. They definitely only did the draft because of the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just read the next thing of the best thing that's technically going on in WWE right now.
It's kind of wild and funny that the best thing in WWE right now is the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre feud, and both of them are injured.
And I'm not trying to be biased because I'm a Punk mark, but it is literally the best thing going on in WWE right now, the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre feud. And both of them are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can't wrestle. So, breaking news, too, when we were watching the Dusty Rhodes Most Wanted Treasures. So, Drew McIntyre was supposed to be in the King of the Ring tournament, but he's unable to compete tonight because of his injury. But it's just really crazy. Drew has a fucked up elbow. Punk has a fucked up tricep or whatever, and they're both hurt, but they're having a great fucking feud. And this better lead to a Hell in a Cell match.
You know, as we're saying this, I've realized you didn't even write it down, and I'm kind of surprised you didn't. Why aren't we talking about CM Punk being locked in the fucking headquarters? Why was that not a part of what we're talking about today?
What a saga! If you're on Twitter or Instagram and you are following the saga of CM Punk being locked in WWE headquarters because he did the pre-show for Backlash, so it was at WWE headquarters where they do the pre-show, and he went to go change out of his suit, and he got locked in the bathroom, and then he got out of the bathroom, and everyone was gone, and he was just causing trouble around WWE headquarters. And bro, Punk turned into a vlogger. He was just randomly doing shit. Like, the best thing he did was he found Bruce Pritchard's office, and he went inside his office and wrote Jim Herd on a piece of paper and put it on Bruce Pritchard's, like, nameplate. That is the funniest thing to ever happen.
I just don't know how he was filming this and posting it on Instagram, and no one saved him. No one went to go get him.
Or, like, he walked up to an Andre the Giant statue, ball tapped it. Walked up to an Undertaker statue, ball tapped it. Everyone was wondering how he was eating. They have random fridges. We were getting a tour of WWE headquarters.
Yeah.
Like, he was just doing shit. He's probably going to be on Raw tonight.
I said to Dylan, I was like, you know, he's going to get fired, and then he's just going to immediately turn this back around and say, they trapped me in the headquarters. I was fending for my life. It's so unprofessional.
Bro was just having the time. Like, he was like, I'm just going to be the Phantom of the Opera. Like, he was having the time of his life in the gym. He was just working out.
It was wild to me. Absolutely insane. Let's move on to Dynamite. What I'm excited to talk about. Alright, so Swerve versus Christian Cage is official for Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a fun match.
I'm surprised it was Christian Cage, like, because the whole thing was, we're gonna find out Swerve's opponent, and I thought it was gonna be Jack Perry.
No, I don't think it would be Jack Perry just yet. They have some other business that they're attending to.
I thought that it's AEW, so I thought they were just gonna hot shot Jack Perry right to it, but I can fuck with Christian Cage. I like it. There's a story there.
Yeah.
With Nick Wayne and all of that, and Swerve,
them being tag team partners at All In.
And Christian Cage is just great. So.
It'll be a really fun match.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And the thing is, like, they're like, even though like Swerve is now like babyface and he's like doing the kind of turning a new leaf type of thing, like, they're both diabolical fucks.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like the build from now till Double or Nothing is going to be fucking fantastic because they're both sadistic bitches, and I love that.
I think this would be a cool, like, it'll be a good first feud for Swerve as champion and everything, so, Christian Cage is just cool. Like, it's obvious Christian's not gonna win.
Yeah.
But it's just cool. I like Christian Cage. I can't wait for the Adam Copeland and Christian Cage reuniting eventually. That's gonna be fun. What do you think of the Swerve and Christian Cage thing?
Oh, I think it's gonna be great. Like, you know, they're both these fucking maniac guys who are willing to stoop down to levels that shouldn't be stooped to, but they will anyway. And I'm kind of excited to see like how they're gonna like top each other, because like, even though I know Swerve is trying to do this, you know, I've done some bad things in my past, I kind of want Swerve to be like, I know I've done some bad things in my past and I could do worse, and start digging back down into that to like get into Christian's head, because that'll be fucking great. But dude, they like ripped his hair out.
He takes a cinder block to Mama Wayne.
Yeah, honestly.
That'd be wild. The fuck?
I'm really excited to see like how they're gonna go about this, but I think it's gonna be fucking great. I think the build to this is gonna be fucking killer. Moving on to something I don't want to talk about, because why the fuck do you write this shit down, Dylan? Why is Chris Jericho wearing trunks in the year of 2024?
Yeah, why is Chris Jericho wearing trunks? And why is fat ass, sorry to body shame people, but why is fat ass Chris Jericho wearing trunks?
I think Chris Jericho needs to stop, and I've been saying that every single fucking week now.
He looks like a melted candle.
Did Corey say that?
No.
No?
I just thought of that right now.
That sounds like something Corey would say.
Like me picturing Chris Jericho right now, he looks like a fucking melted candle.
You need to send that to him. You need to tell Corey that, because he'll probably be like, yo, dude, that sounds like something straight out of his mouth. No context. Just say Chris Jericho looks like a melted candle. But yeah, no, like the second he came out and I saw the trunks, I was like, this is actually the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. This is terrible, and I don't want to be looking at this right now. But his jacket was nice. He had a nice jacket on, so I'll give him. I'm always a sucker for a good jacket.
I am the learning tree.
Oh god, that's so bad, dude. I am the learning tree.
He had a match. He had a match against Shibata.
Poor Shibata. And Shibata.
The funniest thing about this match was Shibata had the trash can on his head.
And I saw someone being like, dude, Chris Jericho really is the GOAT. He's wrestling himself. And it's just Shibata as a trash can. And Chris Jericho.
I saw something else, but I'm not going to repeat it on the podcast. I'll just type it out to you because you'll find it funny. And you'll understand why I can't say on the podcast, because I just don't want to be canceled. But just talk about Chris Jericho.
I don't want to talk about Chris Jericho anymore.
Just shit on him for a minute.
All right, he looks like a melted candle, also a melted ice cream cone. He looks like he smells like week-old urine. And as I said before, he does look like he's also made out of dollar store deli meat. And he is not good, and he is washed, and I feel bad saying it to a degree, but also he needs to be off my television screen as soon as possible. So Tony Khan, if you're listening, you will pay for your crimes if you do not remove Chris Jericho from our television screen. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ. What's wrong with people on Twitter? God, fuck.
It's Twitter.
All right, I want to move on from Chris Jericho. I want to talk about the meat and potatoes, the most important thing that's ever happened in my entire life. OMG, the Elite killed Kenny Omega. Also, whoever tried to start that 7-star chant, please never go to a wrestling show ever again.
Yeah, for context. So Kenny comes out. It was the return of Kenny Omega. He comes out because it's Winnipeg, it's his hometown. And he's talking about that, you know, He's been away for a little bit because of
he has tummy problems. He has diverticulitis.
His guts are literally fucking imploding.
Yeah.
And he came 24 hours away from dying because you could die from it if not treated, and that maybe he might have to retire, but like he can't watch AEW because like he'll start shaking or whatever. I forget the exact quote he said and everything, but Okada comes out, and of course if you know, you know, Okada Omega, great rivalry, but really you had to start a 7-star chant? Fuck you. Stop being cringe. It was cringy.
Anyway, so...
It was cringy. But anyway, get to the good stuff, because this was actually really good.
So Kenny Omega comes out, gives the whole, like, I almost died, and I thought that me coming out tonight was going to have to be my retirement speech. But then I realized something, that as I was watching Dynasty and I was watching the Ospreay and Bryan Danielson match, that I started shaking again, and that's when I realized that it wasn't nerves, it wasn't me being scared, it was me going through withdrawal, and that I have to be back in this ring, and you're not going to get rid of me that fucking easily, and yada yada yada. And then Okada comes out, and he says, "Good to see you again, Okada." And Okada's like, "I'm the best bout machine now." And Kenny said, "Give me a couple months, and I'll fucking take you up on that offer." Whatever. And they're like, you know, staring at each other, great rivalry, and then...
Mind you, before we get into all this, the most important line Kenny said in this whole thing was, if I get hit in the stomach, if I take any blunt force trauma to the stomach, I might die.
Yes, yes.
So just keep that in context as we're explaining all of this.
So they're doing their little stare down thing of just like, I'm the best bout machine. No, I'm the best bout machine. And then next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom, here comes Jack Perry with the steel chair. Well, not with the steel chair, but he comes in and he, like, blindsides Kenny, and Kenny's down, and they're like, ah ha ha, we're beating you up. And then Jack Perry gets beaten up by Kenny, and he gets
a black eye.
He's like, I'm beating you up, and he gives him a black eye, and then he goes for the V trigger, and Okada grabs his leg.
Well, no, before did he do the dragon suplex before?
He did the Snapdragon, which knocked Perry down, because Perry then got the chair from Okada.
Yeah.
Knocked Perry down with the Snapdragon suplex. Goes for the V trigger. Okada grabs his foot, and then he's like, "What the heck, Okada? Golly gee, my guy, what in the heck are you doing right now?" Turns back around, Jack Perry with the chair, boom, right to his tummy, right to his explosive fucking intestines. And then Kenny goes down, and he's like, "Oh no, my tummy." And then the Bucks come out, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, what are you guys doing to Kenny Omega?" And Jack's standing there with the chair, and he's like, "He gave me a black eye." And then I guess that's like, he gave you a black eye. Okay. So then EVP trigger to Kenny Omega, and then Nick and Jack hug, and he's like, "My son, I'm so sorry that you got a black eye." Come out, put Kenny on a stretcher, you know, all that fun stuff, the medical team.
You forgot the most important thing here. Who came to the rescue?
Oh, right, he was rescued. Oh, I'm so sorry. So,
of all people to rescue him.
I don't remember if they were going for if Okada was going for a Rainmaker, or if the Bucks were going for like a TK drive or something, but they were going for another move. I think it was a Rainmaker. And FTR comes out.
Did the music hit, or did this come running out?
I think the music hit.
Okay.
I think their music hit, but nonetheless, FTR comes running out, which is weird as fuck, and they're probably as running to the ring like, "I'm so sorry, CM Punk." So sorry.
Cash was wearing a Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt.
Yeah,
and
real weird.
Dax was running really weird.
Yeah,
sorry, Dax.
Real weird situation going on there. But they come out, they you know, get everyone out of the ring, and the Elite's just like, "Oh, gosh golly, sorry. Great show tonight, guys." And then Kenny gets stretchered out, and then Rampage opens up with Kenny getting stretchered out and to the back, and then they're going to put him in the back into the ambulance, and then the Elite come by, and they're like, "LOL, JK Kenny, we're gonna beat you up some more," and they beat up all the fucking,
They knock him over.
Well, hold on, I'm getting there. They beat up all the medical people, and then Matt's, like, hovering over Kenny, and he's saying something like, "I'm sorry, man, it's nothing personal, it's just business, you know, let's let's go on to change the world together. Yeah, let's change the world. And then they knock him over out of the fucking the little stretcher thingy, and Kenny's down and down for the count because he's a hurt boy. And yeah, they fucking tried to murder him. They tried to murder Kenny Omega.
But
I didn't even get an update on the stream because he's in Winnipeg, so I didn't even go live on Friday.
But you also said that there's conspiracies that
Kenny is okay.
Kenny probably already had the surgery.
There's some like minor conspiracies about it. Like, it's one of those things where like the people that I see talking about it aren't trying to be like disrespectful about it. It's one of those things where it's kind of like interesting correlation.
Because you got to think about it. Diverticulitis is a serious issue. Mm-hmm. Where, like I said, you can die from it. And Kenny literally also said of blunt force trauma to my stomach, I can die. He came 24 hours away from dying. And that he might need a colostomy bag? That's the right term for it?
Yeah, bag.
But you gotta think. I think I could be wrong. I'm no fucking doctor or anything, but you gotta think, Kenny wouldn't be able to travel, like fly, because he doesn't live in Winnipeg.
No, he lives in Florida, I believe.
So you would have to fly from Florida to Canada. I mean, you can drive, but probably flying is easier. So he probably can't fly without some sort of restrictions, and he wouldn't be taking those bumps that he was taking if, blunt force trauma. He had to be either like go to his actual doctors and be like, yeah, you're good, or he had the surgery.
So, I mean, my thought process behind it, and this is like a little bit of a personal thought process behind it for one part of this. So I almost died once. I have had a history of issues with kidney infections, that I had no idea what the actual problem was until my third kidney infection. So I was getting these bad kidney infections, frequently enough, like more than a person should be, from the 6th grade up until I was 20 or 21. And, I'd get a kidney infection, go to the doctor, get medicine, whatever. And then once my third one hit, I actually had to go to the hospital for it. And because it was like really fucking bad. Like I was at work and I started getting this pain, this all too familiar pain in my flank. And I was like, I think this is a kidney infection. I need to go home right now. So I went home, I laid down for a while. My dad was there with me and he was like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, let me see if this is gonna, like, this pain's gonna pass at all. It didn't. And I was like, all right, take me to the fucking hospital, because it was too late, and it was too late at night to go to a doctor's, and I was like, I need to get something sorted out for this. So when I was in the hospital for my third kidney infection, they did a CAT scan or MRI or something, probably not MRI, but they did a scan on me basically, and they found that I had this abnormality for my kidney. So basically, I have something called a double kidney, which from what they explained to me, I believe is 2 urinary tracts attached to 1 kidney, but that I also had this, like...
This is hurting my kidneys talking about this.
That I had this, like this flap of skin covering the urinary tract. So basically, it wasn't able to flush itself out properly, which was leading to the kidney infections. So I was like, okay, and they were like, you should be fine, but, if you ever notice anything happening again, just let us know. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. But sure, I'll go home.
Yeah, sure.
So 3 weeks later, I'm at my ex-boyfriend's house, and I'm laying in his bed for about 3 days straight. I am sweating up a fucking storm. I can't keep anything down. I'm throwing up every single thing, including water that I'm trying to put in my stomach. Like, something is wrong. And at first, I thought maybe I just had, like, a stomach virus. And it kept going, and it kept getting worse. It kept getting worse. And on the third day, I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm going to the fucking hospital. Like, something's wrong. Go to the hospital. Turns out I almost went septic. And they were like, you need emergency surgery. Like, right now. Because if you waited any longer, you would have fucking died. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool to know. Thank you. But basically, I've been fine now. Ever since I got the surgery to remove the abnormality, I'm Gucci. But nonetheless, I almost died. And I'm a nobody. Like, I'm a nobody person. And I'm not sitting here and I'm going to say that celebrities or people that are famous, get quicker treatment type of thing. But if they're going to take a nobody who almost died in for emergency surgery, I don't see why they wouldn't when someone's a professional wrestler type of thing.
Yeah, because, like, I'm sorry if someone's telling me, like, yeah, so, like, you're 24 hours away. You're 24 hours away from dying. Like, you need surgery. Yeah, cut me open.
Yeah.
Do it.
Along with that, people were also just kind of speculating that, like, how did you not know that you were booked for the Winnipeg show? Like, because Kenny was just saying, oh, I didn't know. Like, they just put the graphic up from the arena and whatnot, and I had no idea that this was happening, and yada, yada, yada. And they're like, but did you really not know? And then also people have said, like, he says he can't really do a whole lot, but he's still working out. He's still, like, stressing his body out with, like, workouts and shit. So, again, it's just speculation. Nothing's ever been confirmed. And, of course, I mean, absolutely no disrespect to Kenny Omega. Like, if he is legitimately telling, like, not trying to work us into a story.
He's working us.
If he is telling the truth and, like, he legitimately hasn't had the surgery yet, I don't mean to, like, discredit any of that. I'm just saying, like, as people have been saying on the internet, there's speculation that maybe he did already get the surgery. But, we just kind of have to see where it is. Because the thing is, even if he did get the surgery, like, the recovery time is still lengthy nonetheless. So, yeah, he might be able to go out and take a couple bumps and go out and talk and whatnot. But nonetheless, like, he's still not ring ready.
Yeah, and I don't know what, like, the whole... Like, he even said in, like, his promo, like, the colostomy bag could be weeks, months, or a year.
Yeah.
Even, so it...
Or forever.
Or forever, even.
But one important note that he did make in his, statement and speech was that the Bucks have forgotten one thing, that while they're EVPs, he's also an EVP.
Yeah.
So Kenny still does have control about what's going on.
I think this is leading to a whole... I think Kenny's going to be, like, the GM.
That'd be cool. That would be really cool.
Because of Tony Khan being, quote-unquote, out because of neck injury and everything, and, like, the whole storyline that they're running with. I think this is going to be, like, a power struggle type storyline.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kenny also said he has that, like, Iron Claw cause type thing in his contract where he can't get fired either. Because that's how the Bucks... Because I always saw so many people, like, trying to be little fucking smart marks about the whole storyline and be like, oh, well, this doesn't make any sense because they attacked Tony Khan, so this is a shot on Punk, and clearly they're going to get fired. Like, and if they don't get fired, that doesn't make any sense. So clearly they came up with, like, that they had a clause in their contract where they can't be fired. Like, and people trying to be like, oh, this doesn't make any fucking sense type of thing. It's like, again, I think it's so stupid. Like, just, if you don't enjoy the product, that's fine. Just enjoy what you enjoy. Oh my god.
It's an interesting storyline. I always, like, I don't care. Man, I was a fan of the fucking WWF Corporation storyline. I like power struggle storylines. Fuck, I booked one myself.
I think, again, the best people to do something like this is the Elite, and they've done such a good job, like, always. Like, I don't understand why they're ever baby faces, because they do such a good job at being heels.
They're better at being heels.
Well, the Bucks, I should say, not necessarily the Elite. The Bucks are way better at being heels than they are baby faces.
Yes.
They are so fucking good at it.
I will give them that.
And
the Young Bucks are better at being heels.
And that's no tea to them ever being baby faces, because I do enjoy that as well, but they are just so good at being little dicks.
Yes.
They're so good at it, and that's what people want them to be. You know what I mean? That's what all, like, the naysayers want them to be. That's even what their fans want them to be. Their fans love them when they're little shitheads. So, yeah, keep it going. But, anyway, moving on. I hope he appears, because I'm about to say his name. Joe Hendry apologized to Flop Dollar, AJ Francis. I believe Joe Hendry is available everywhere on streaming.
Yes, give him that plug.
So buy his song or download it or whatever. I think you have to buy it on Apple
Say
Music.
his name and he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Um,
I don't care if we get copyright for it either, to be honest with you.
But as soon as you sent me the apology song, or you showed it to me, I immediately texted Mark, and I was like, dude, Joe Hendry did a parody of Higher, and his immediate response back was, where?
so TNA, Joe Hendry. I'm gonna keep saying his name until he appears. But so what we just sang was a little bit of his theme song, and everyone fucking loves his theme song. It's a fucking banger. Go get it on streaming anywhere: Apple, iTunes, Spotify, fucking Pandora. I don't fucking know.
Make it so he beats Taylor Swift in the charts.
Yeah, but that way. Just look up Joe Hendry. I Believe in Joe Hendry. That's the name of the song. But it's finally available because it was just on YouTube for the longest time. It's his entrance theme. It's only like a minute and a half long, but man, what a fucking banger. And TNA, he's doing a feud right now with Flop Dollar, or what's the fuck?
AJ Francis?
AJ Francis, Top Dollar, former Top Dollar. I call him Flop Dollar for reasons and whatnot, but they're doing like a whole feud, and Joe Hendry had to do an apology song. You just need to go out of your way. It's on TNA's YouTube. Just go fucking find it. So he performed a song, and it was literally a parody of Creed's Higher, and it was, won't you please get fired? It's oh man, it was so good. They need to put the belt on him.
All the belts. Every single last one.
Joe Hendry is so fucking good. Go out of your way to fucking just listen to his song, the apology song too. My God, it's just, it's gold. TNA struck gold.
Alright, let's move on to SmackDown.
There really isn't much to talk about SmackDown. No. It was kind of a throwaway episode just leading up the Backlash.
I'll just toss this all into one sentence. This French crowd is bonkers. Also, no LED screens. Please keep it like this.
Yeah, so SmackDown was live from France. Well, it was taped for us because different time zones and everything. But it was in France because Backlash was in France as well. And holy fuck, that crowd. Insane.
I love when international crowds put American crowds to shame.
Yes. Fuck, man. They were singing Randy Orton's theme. They popped for LA Knight like it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Cody Rhodes was over as fuck. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have LED screens on the ring or on the fucking barricades. It looked so good. Please just keep it like that. They probably won't.
No, LED screens are what's in. It's boring and tasteless.
I hate it so much. AEW and WWE, stop it. Stop with the LED shit. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, it was just it was a random throwaway episode of SmackDown just leading in the Backlash, but it was the crowd, holy fuck. Fuck Vince Russo. Fuck Disco Inferno for saying that the crowd is annoying. Fuck you guys.
Man, I'm so annoyed when the crowd likes the show they're watching.
You guys aren't used to fucking crowds like that, you fucking dumb shits.
Fucking stupid. But no, dude, insane. Like, I love the international crowds because here's the thing, right, too? Like, I was saying to, I think when we were watching Backlash, I was saying to Bruce, my boss, and I was like, yeah, dude, like, they're probably going fucking nuts because, like, when was the last time any wrestling show, like WWE was, or AEW, or not AEW, obviously, but when was WWE ever in fucking France the last time?
I'm not gonna lie, half the time I didn't understand what the fuck they were saying, but I know it was good.
Yeah, like, the thing is,
I don't speak French.
Like, of course they're going insane because, like, dude, when was the last time they ever got this? They're probably out there and they're like, we're gonna have the time of our lives because we don't know when this is ever coming back. But no, they were fucking great. Again, international crowds are always fucking awesome.
I don't speak French, but I know that they're having time in their lives.
Well, apparently I don't know how much you were paying attention to the commentary, which we'll get into obviously more so later. But when they kept singing the song for AJ Styles, and I guess, I don't know who said it on commentary, but the song that they were singing it had something to do with with the word phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it was some, like, you know, like, I don't know the proper word, like cultural song or whatever.
I think it was like their national anthem.
I don't know what it was, dude, but it was some sort of like cultural song, and that's why every time they kept singing it, and it was like as they kept doing it, it kept getting more insane. It was fucking awesome.
It was crazy. But let's talk about Backlash France.
So I, for the most part, watched this. I was at work when this happened, and I was trying to keep an eye, but I was at work, so like I was busy.
I watched this. I was home and I watched it.
But the Bloodline defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a match that had no stipulation that immediately turned into a street fight.
Yeah, well, first it was just going to be a tag team match, but the show kicked off with all of them brawling. Nick Aldis came out and was like, he says something in French, and that translated to, do whatever you want, it's a street fight.
Yeah.
And they had a fucking banger of a street fight.
They were fucking killing each other.
I was expecting Jacob Fatu, so was everyone else, but Tonga Loa showed up. So now we have Gorillas of Destiny, a part of the Bloodline, ladies and gentlemen.
I know it's obviously not true, but
it's crazy.
Jacob Fatu is just sitting somewhere in the Indies, and he's just like, "What's WWE? Why do people keep asking me when I'm going there? What is it?" But no, it was a fucking killer match. Again, I was in and out for this match.
They had a good match.
But it was really fucking good, and I'm always a fucking sucker for a street fight, you know. But your mom texted you.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. But yeah, no, I'm always like a sucker for matches where people just beat the fucking piss out of each other. So, I can't complain too much about that. Moving on, Bayley defeated Naomi and Tiffany Stratton by pinfall.
It unfortunately wasn't Tiffy time.
Well, it wasn't going to be Tiffy time because it's Bayley's time.
But I wanted to.
But that was also a fucking great match.
It was a great match. Tiffany Stratton is a great women's wrestler.
She's so fucking good.
She is my favorite women's wrestler, and I love her, and it's going to be Tiffy time eventually.
Like, all three of these in the ring together just put on an absolute fucking spectacular show. Like, spectacular, because they're all fantastic fucking wrestlers, but, obviously, not saying Tiffany's not, but Bayley and Naomi are already very, like, solidified in their careers.
Yeah.
So, to see them with Tiffany Stratton, and just to see Tiffany Stratton, like, be able to keep up with them and
Tiffany Stratton has been on the main roster for, like, a few months, and she is over like Rover.
Yeah, she's killing it. Yeah. So, I'm glad that she's getting the push that she's getting, because she fucking deserves it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really fucking good match, really fun match, and, 13 minutes long, it was the shortest match on the fucking pay-per-view, but I think it was honestly one of the strongest matches on the pay-per-view.
Also, I want to mention something, since we're talking about time and everything. They spaced this shit out really good. I don't know if you were like, I know you said you were in and out, but it wasn't like they had a match and then a long ass ad like they usually do.
Yeah,
there wasn't like a bit like, there was only 5 matches on the show. But, like, Elimination Chamber, if you remember, there was, like, an hour break between, like, matches for one of the matches, which was just insane. But, like, they spaced this out pretty good.
Well, that's what I was even saying for, like, Mania. Like, I felt like Mania didn't have as much stupid fucking bullshit in it that it has in the years past. And that's why I was, like, more content with it. And it was cool, too, because, like, this sounds so weird for me to say, but I was actually taken by surprise because I was back and forth doing stuff at work. And this was on the TV in the back in Bruce's station and not the TV up at the front. I would be like going off and I'd do something. I'd come back and like, let's say for example, I go away for 5 minutes and I come back and the Bayley match is still on. I'm like, oh my God, the Bayley match is still on? They're still going with it? Okay, cool. Like, it was kind of surprising that I wasn't walking back and the match finished and there was this weird break in between or this like these ads or whatever. Like, it was just straight up fucking like wrestling.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, that's fucking awesome. But going into the next match, which was alright, Damian Priest and Jey Uso, this one I was not paying attention to really in the slightest.
Yeah, I like Damian Priest, I like Jey Uso. It just felt like this could have just been put on an episode of Raw.
It feels like the extra 2 minutes could have went to Bayley and Naomi because like this was a 15-minute long match. I don't think it needed to be.
Jey Uso's biggest problem he has is, you're going to find it funny how I word this, but if you're in the wrestling business, you understand what I'm saying. He's doing too much hot dogging. which to like kind of explain that to you and people that don't know, he hits a move, yeet, hits a move, yeet, hits a move, yeet. He does too much of that. He tries to be 1998 Rock too, of he does the punches and then he does the big has his hand up, spits in the hand and does the slap. The Rock used to do that. It's like watching The Rock from like 1990, not even 1998, like 97.
I mean, look, okay, controversial maybe. I don't know.
Main event, Jey Uso, smack dab in the middle of the card.
I like Jey Uso, I do. So first of all, he's struggling finding his own.
Yeah.
After not being in a tag team for however many years, and that's to kind of be expected, that once you've been in this tag team, especially with someone like your brother, and now you're your single star, it's kind of hard to find your footing yourself, and I get that. But I think he's kind of, it's gonna be so controversial, I'm so sorry. I think he's kind of being a little bit detrimented by the Yeet gimmick. And Here's the thing, it's funny, it's fun, but we didn't need to take something that was funny on a press conference and turn it into someone's entire gimmick.
That's literally his whole gimmick.
When I think Jey Uso, without the Yeet gimmick, well, he still would have that same personality, talking this, that, and the other thing, I think would be a lot stronger than instead of having to worry about still finding the balance of this weird gimmicky gimmick, in between all of it. You know what I mean? Like, and again, it's not like it's the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, it's funny, the crowd loves it, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not like it's a bad gimmick.
People love it.
People
like,
hate it.
Did you see like the NBA crowd doing it?
Yeah.
And like his entrance regardless, like holy
I'm not
fuck.
saying it's not good with the crowd. What I'm saying is I feel like sticking him with something so centric so early on into like him being a singles competitor, and I get it that like, because here's the thing, right? Yeah, he hasn't been with Jimmy in a hot minute now because of the whole bloodline thing, but he also had the bloodline thing. He lost his tag team partner in the middle of this huge fucking storyline, and he still had something that was going on. But then when the storyline was over with and he was out of it, then what does he do? He could have still just went on and been main event Jey Uso and just, done Jey Uso. He didn't need like a tagline so quickly and a thing to like push merch so quickly. And again, it's not like people hate it and think it's stupid. I just think it's like he didn't need it, and now that he has it, it's like this weird thing he's trying to integrate into like his actual character.
Yeah.
When he didn't need anything into his character. He already had a great character. So it's just like an unnecessary garnish, if you will. It's like those pieces of lettuce on your dish that you're not supposed to eat. The fake lettuce. Like that's what it feels like. It's like, here's this great platter and then this thing you can't
Jey
eat.
Uso's fake lettuce.
Jey Uso is the fake lettuce on my fucking filet mignon. But no. Again, like, I love Jey Uso. He's a great wrestler.
This also just seemed like more so to a match to further the Judgment Day ascension. Yeah,
too. Because after everything happened, Damian Priest was just kind of like, please stop beating up the Yeet Man.
Yeah.
Like, I won. I didn't need you guys. I told you I didn't need you, like, and now you're here.
This
like, what
is
the fuck?
furthering, like, we're eventually gonna get like a Damian Priest Finn Balor match.
It was like it was kind of just one of those things that happened to happen just to kind of be a stepping stone.
It didn't need to be 15 minutes. I think it should have went like 10.
No, yeah, it definitely should have went less than that.
This next match should have probably went a little bit less than 17 minutes.
This match,
because what the fuck happened here?
It hurt so bad because I love all of these wrestlers with my whole heart.
I was looking forward to this match, but like, bro,
halfway through it fell apart.
This kind of like was a vibe killer almost. It was like, what the fuck happened?
We had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeating the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Which good for Jade. They see something in Jade that they're putting a belt on her. Good for Jade. Like, they're sticking her with Bianca Belair, which, I'm not the biggest fan of Bianca Belair because the best way to kind of explain Bianca Belair, like, comparison, is how people felt about John Cena in, like, 2006, 2007.
You feel like she was pushed too much onto you.
Yeah,
which
like,
is fair.
too much onto me. But...
she's great.
Yeah,
and she's a great wrestler.
She is great. And, like, Jade Cargill is great, but she's learning the WWE style, doing the same stuff that she was doing in AEW.
She's doing exactly the same stuff.
But they see something in Jade, which I agree with. I always saw something in Jade. I always loved Jade. I still love Jade. They see something in Jade that they're sticking her with, like, the face of the women's division, kind of, which is cool.
But something happened in the middle of this match that, okay, so I said this to my one coworker when we were watching this, because I was trying to watch this match full way through because I love all these people, and again, I'm a huge Kabuki Warriors fan. But Kairi hits a move on Jade, and then they're like, oh, Kairi, you're not legal, when it seemed like she was supposed to be legal. And here's my biggest thing about tag team matches, because I am a fucking smart mark for fucking tag team wrestling, I guess is whatever, how I decide to say that.
You wouldn't be a smart mark.
No, I wouldn't. It just happened and I started talking and we're just rolling with it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a smart
mark. No. But I love tag team wrestling. But I don't give a fuck if the rules are being broken in a tag team match. I don't. Because it's chaos, and I'm here for it, and I'm all for it. But then when we draw attention to it, when, like, that's when, like, things start getting hiccupy and confusing, right? So, I don't necessarily know. I'd have to go back and watch the match in its entirety of how little the rules were actually being paid attention to or not. Because if you're not paying attention to the rules, and nothing's, like, no one's stopping anything from happening, but then mid-match decide, oh, let's pay attention to the rules again, then it's like, okay, hold on, now everything's getting sloppy.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, communication just got broken or...
I think something got fucked up, but once that happened, things just started getting kind of sloppy, and it just kind of went downhill from there, which was a huge fucking bummer. Because, again, like, I love all of these people so fucking much. And, I mean, I knew the Kabuki Warriors were going to lose their belts. And I knew that my sliver of hope of seeing them on SmackDown was... when we go to see it live, was not going to come true. And nonetheless, the nail's in the coffin, and I'm not going to see them. Yeah, but I'll get to see Jade, so that's really cool.
Yeah, next week's podcast is going to be kind of fun.
But I get to see Jade, and that's really fucking cool, and it's, like, more so, like, we are going to see Jade. She's a champion now, so yay!
I better get to see Tiffy.
But...
Tiffy time.
But... yeah, I was very disappointed in how this match ended up, because again, all four of these wrestlers are phenomenal, and there's no reason that this should have happened, but something happened, and it's a shame it did, because it really had that possibility of being a fucking fantastic match. But it just slipped away from them. So that is very unfortunate. But nonetheless, I'm very happy for Bianca, and I'm very happy for Jade.
They gave Jade a belt.
Yes,
Woo! And
I'm very excited to see where they go with their tag team championships. And I'm also kind of excited to see where this goes with Damage Control as well, which I'm sure we'll see in about 20 minutes.
Where the fuck has Io been?
Well, she lost her belt, so she's sad. She's gone away for a little bit.
Was she even a part of the draft?
Damage Control, yeah.
She got drafted with Damage Control?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro, there's too many people on this fucking roster.
But anyway, is my smart water over there by chance? Or is it empty? Or...
I threw it on the ground by accident. That's how much yeah.
Okay, well, there's another one in that sheets bag from the other night, if you can hand me that. Because I need water.
Oh, I have another Slim Jim in here. Cool.
Thank you for the... So, if anyone cares, but you don't...
I have a Macho Man Slim Jim.
If anyone cares, but you don't, still popping off about the Cucumber Lime Smart Water. Smart Water, please sponsor us. I literally spend too much money on this fucking shit, when I could easily just be making Cucumber Lime water in the jug that I have in my apartment, but I don't, because I'm stupid.
Alright, let's talk about the main event here.
Yeah. So, Cody Rhodes defeated AJ Styles via pinfall.
What a match.
As to be expected. This one, unfortunately, I was back and forth with because of work.
Wow, what a match.
But,
a
burning hammer was hit.
What a match, bro. They had a wrestling match. Holy fuck. Fuck anyone. You know what? In the words of Paul Heyman, if anyone thinks that AJ Styles is washed, you can suck my fucking dick.
I don't think he's washed, but I think saying that he's not close to the end of his career is kind of insane, considering he's very far away from the beginning.
AJ Styles had one of his best matches in a very long time. And, come on, Cody's always great. AJ Styles hit a burning hammer on Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes kicked out at 1 and did the fighting spirit spot. And for all the AEW freakazoids out there that are getting mad at that, you people would be fucking jizzing your pants if that was hit on a random episode of Dynamite and Orange Cassidy fucking did it.
I do see people making the counter argument back about people that are excited about it from Cody Rhodes being like, oh, but when Kenny Omega does it, it's bad. When Kenny Omega kicks out at 1 from a
nah, it's cool when
from a one-winged angel or
I mean, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I know.
Your own finish?
I know, but when people are like, oh, so you're going to bury your own finish? I mean, now the Burning Hammer's not Cody Rhodes' finish. But they're like, oh, so it's bad when he does it, but good when he does it. No, it's good when they all do it, because it's great.
I mean, I can't say anything. I got hit with a fucking, like, TKO type thing and kicked out at 1, and then kicked out at 2.
Yeah.
I had like a 56-minute match, and the whole point of the match was just for me to get my ass kicked and do like fighting spirit spots, and that's what I did. So I can't really say anything. I like when people kick out at 1 of like stupid shit.
It's fun.
Not stupid shit. I understand the argument of the Burning Hammer. Kenta Kobashi only used it 7 times, but like, man, can we just just ignore that? A burning hammer, a legit burning hammer, not like a reverse attitude adjustment burning hammer, a Kenta Kobashi version burning hammer, neck bump burning hammer, was hit on WWE in a WWE show. I think Vince McMahon's gone.
Well, no shit, he's gone. But yeah, no, it was again, from what I caught of it, very good match. Again, I like AJ Styles, but I don't like AJ Styles.
The crowd was fucking bananas for this.
I always preferred AJ out of WWE, but from what I did see of this match with Cody Rhodes, that was like the AJ Styles that I'm like, that's what I've been wanting in WWE. This is the AJ Styles that I fucking know and love. Like, where has he been? Where has he been? Did you really need to just get jacked and start wearing dress pants? Is that what it all took?
Well, he wasn't wearing dress pants.
Well, no, but you know, his thing that
his gear was really cool.
Yeah, it was the purple gear. It was what was he beat Dusty Rhodes in that gear? Is that what it was? Yeah.
AJ Styles, I believe, is the only person to face Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah. I might be wrong on that, but he regardless that he faced Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes.
Before moving on to Wrestler of the Week, I do just want to say one more thing about this match, and that is Google's free. Michael Cole. Michael Cole, if you are listening to me, let me tell you, Google is fucking free. This is like the 3rd fucking time that this has happened. I don't know who's not fact-checking you, but I'm about to fucking do it, okay? Go on the internet, go on Twitter, because a lot of people are fucking mad at you for this. I don't know how many times we have to say it. Cody Rhodes was not a Bullet Club leader. He was not a Bullet Club leader. When we said two,
he was in the Bullet Club, but not the leader.
Actually, this might have been Corey Graves. It was one of them. It was one of them. Google's fucking free.
No, it was Michael Cole.
Was it Michael Cole? Yeah. Cody Rhodes was never a Bullet Club leader. AJ Styles was, yes. Cody Rhodes was just there, and as someone said on Twitter, he was there to be bisexual and cause problems. That's all he did.
But to be fair, I do see where the confusion could happen. Yes. I'm not trying to defend it. Like, Cody wasn't the leader, but the whole story between him and Kenny was kind of like...
Yes.
I see where that confusion could happen, but Kenny was technically the leader at that time.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes was never appointed leader.
But that was like the whole like story of like who was the leader, but
yeah,
it was never like... Cody was never officially the leader.
No, never. So let's stop saying that. Let's stop doing that. And just go back to the Google machine, because it's free. Jesus.
Just like how technically Cody wasn't technically an original member of the Elite.
Okay, I'm gonna pop off. That pisses me off so bad because so many people were fucking going off about this on fucking Twitter the other day, where because it was that like fucking phone call thing when they were starting to talk about the Elite and
Yeah.
AEW and how Cody Rhodes was a founding member of the Elite. No, the fuck he wasn't. When the Elite was formed, Cody Rhodes was still doing fucking Stardust in WWE. Cody Rhodes didn't even show up to New Japan until later on that same year that the Elite were formed, and didn't join Bullet Club till like later on that year or the following year, whatever it was, and then wasn't even a part of the Elite until like 2 years after its fucking formation. Like,
Yeah.
he was so far away from being a founding member of the Elite that he was quite literally in another country when it happened. So,
Bullet Club.
no.
Ooh.
Cody Rhodes was never a founding member of the Elite. With that being said, he was a very important part of the Elite, and of course a very important part of the formation of AEW. But no, he was so far away from ever founding it. It's not even funny. The founding members of the Elite is Kenny and the Bucks. That's it. Those are the three. They were a subgroup from Bullet Club. That's how it happened. Get your fucking facts straight, people. Cody Rhodes, I see you, American man. Stop it.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes joined the Bullet Club on December 10th, 2016, and left, hold on, I messed it up, October 24th, 2018. I'm trying to find the sub-factions. I just saw the sub-factions.
So the Elite was formed, I believe, in
Subgroups.
January of 2016?
Subgroups. House of Torture is supposedly a subgroup of fucking Bullet Club, which is really weird.
So Jack Perry is part of Bullet Club.
Yes.
Nice.
So I was wrong about that.
Good for him.
Team All In. Cody Rhodes, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson. The Elite, Bullet Club Elite, is 2018-2019. Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Matt, Nick, Hangman, name reacted, not saying his name.
Redacted.
Yeah, not saying that fucking piece of shit's name ever. Takahashi, Chase Owens, and Stephen Amell. Dick and Balls.
Was the Elite really 2018? No, it's been longer than that.
No, my bad. So what I just named was Bullet Club Elite.
Oh, Bullet Club Elite.
The Elite 2016-2018, and it's just Kenny, Matt, and Nick.
And then to Bullet Club Elite.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, no,
And
wait.
then you have the Hung Bucks. There's so many fucking...
Oh, the Super Click?
Yeah, there's so many fucking...
Why are the Young Bucks just themselves?
Well, they're technically a fucking subgroup. There's so many Holy fuck, Dick and Balls is Hangman and Takahashi.
Fucking great.
There's so many, like...
But yeah, so Cody didn't even join the Elite till 2018. Like, 2 years after it was formed. It's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, because Raw's gonna be starting soon in about 10 minutes.
Haku is part of Bullet Club.
We gotta get wrapping this up, Dylan.
Jeff Jarrett is my favorite member of Bullet Club.
We gotta wrap this up because Raw's gonna be starting soon and you want to watch it.
Yes, who's your favorite member of Bullet Club and why is it Jeff Jarrett?
That's a really weird way of saying Nick Jackson.
Is your wrestler of the week Jeff Jarrett?
No, my wrestler of the week is not Jeff Jarrett.
Who is your wrestler of the week, Lissy? Because you're the host.
My wrestler of the week is Jade Cargill.
Jaded, the Eye of the Storm.
Because I want to talk about Jade.
Or the storm is coming. Yeah, it's the Eye of the Storm, right? She's the Eye of the Storm.
A storm is coming.
The storm is coming.
A storm is coming.
A storm is coming. Jade is great.
Yeah, I want to talk about Jade. I love Jade. I've loved Jade ever since I started watching AEW. I always thought that she was not only just stunning, but she was show-stopping.
We got to see her win the TBS title.
We did. We got to see her win the TBS title against Ruby Soho, which was well-deserved. And she only ever lost twice in AEW, both times to Chris Statlander. I think 61 wins? As the TBS champion?
I forget how many
record or something?
She's 174-0 over, because if Goldberg was 173-0, Jade Cargill's 174-0.
Yeah, she's fucking great. But I want to talk about her, not in like any sort of like rude way of talking about her, but just to kind of like, I don't want to say bring attention to shit. I don't know. So...
It's open mic night, bitch.
Yeah. Who the hell told you it was open mic night, bitch?
That's still crazy to me that, before we talk about her, it's just crazy to me that her debut match featured Cody Rhodes and Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. But the thing that, like, I always thought Jade was great, and it is... To me, I hate that... I don't always mean to be so anti-WWE, but I hate that they made it this whole thing of Jade's coming over to WWE and we have to completely retrain her and we have to completely redo this whole fucking thing with her and learn this style and yada yada yada, when now she's still just doing the same thing she's been doing in AEW. And that's what I've been saying this whole time. It's just like, Jade has always been good and she's always been ready, and I was so, like, upset that it took so long for her to finally make her debut, but then when she does make her debut, it's just, she's just doing the same thing she was doing before. And again, no tea, she's great at it. But it's like, you could have been building the momentum with her for so fucking long, because she's just so... She's great. She's great on the mic, she's great in the ring, she has the fucking look, she is the whole fucking package. And I just feel like it was a wasted time maybe to take a jab. I don't know.
I'm no expert at, like, what they do at the Performance Center or anything. Like, I'll never be a part of WWE. Like, I'm a pro wrestling school dropout. But, I could be wrong. This is what I'm making assumptions here. So, and you can't spell assumptions without ass and you and me. So, if I make an ass out of you and me, whatever. But I think what they mean by, like, they were holding off on her debuting and everything, yeah, she's doing the same thing that she was doing in AEW and everything, but I think, like, whatever the WWE style is and everything like that, and learning that, I think they were also just trying to teach her, like, kind of like ways to have, like, I'm not going to look up on Cage Match or anything like that, but, like, I don't recall Jade ever having a 17-minute match.
Not that I could think of.
And she just had a 17-minute match. I think that's...
Maybe she did it at an AEW pay-per-view, like, once or twice. I feel like her match with Deeb went pretty long.
I don't know.
We don't have to go through and look it up or anything like that.
Like,
but
Jade,
I get what you're saying in that sense.
Like her, most of her matches were 5 minutes on average.
Well,
because it was those squash matches and everything. And, like, yeah, she had longer matches here and there, but I think what they were trying to teach her was WWE is also about telling stories. Like, kind of like more so like, hey, this is how you can tell a story. WWE is not about having 5-star matches, is what I'm getting at. Their thing is, we're going to tell a fucking story. Go watch the tag team match with Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth. That wasn't a 5-star tag team match. That's probably on the Meltzer scale. A 3-star. I don't know. I forget how many stars he fucking ranked it. But that's probably a 3-star fucking match because they're not doing Canadian Destroyers and stuff like that. They were telling a story. It's a storytelling match. Excuse me. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe I know nothing. Maybe I'm just fucking talking out of my ass. But I think they were kind of just readying her for, like, longer matches and storytelling wise. Instead of, like, hey, you're gonna wrestle fucking Red Velvet, go out there and have a 3-minute match.
I mean, I get that, but I also feel like they still could have showcased her while teaching her. You know what I mean? Because, like, again, she was already great in the ring, so, like...
Well, that's what they were doing with, like, the squash matches she was having with Chelsea Green and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that was, like, for 2 weeks. Like, what I'm saying is they could have had her out there and introduced her to the fans and gotten the fans behind her. I mean, the fans are already behind her, but they could have really built that connection and, you know, really made something with it. Yeah. Instead of just, like, okay, here she is now, here's a couple squash matches, and now she has a title. Like, I feel like they could have done a little bit more. But with that being said, nonetheless, again, I think she's always been absolutely fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Like, she has always, always, always been one of like my top, like in one of my top favorites of current day women's wrestling.
She's in my top 5.
She is, again, the whole fucking package, and obviously saw something in her in AEW as well for making her not only the first TBS champion, but no one's gonna fucking break her record.
Yeah.
Like, at least not for the next couple of fucking years, you know what I mean? Like, they saw something in her to have her as this powerhouse fucking machine, and I'm glad she's still doing the same thing in WWE. Like, am I mad that it took us so long to get here when it shouldn't have? Yes, but I'm glad they didn't change her gimmick, they didn't change who she was, they didn't do anything like that. They just let her do the same fucking thing, because that's exactly what she needs to be, is this fucking, like, unstoppable force of a woman.
Now, I'm gonna give my opinion really quick. I'm gonna ask you. I'm not gonna ask you like a question, but you'll get where I'm coming at with it. I'm not trying to be like tribalistic or anything, because I do feel like, example, like Will Ospreay is 100% a better fit in AEW than he would be in WWE. I feel like Jade was meant to be in WWE.
I do, because again, I feel like she has that like same type of star power behind her.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Where do you feel like she belonged more?
I feel like she belongs more in WWE. My worry is like, and I mean, it's tough because like they're giving her that like star power feeling that she should be here. I worry about like 2-3 years down the line. Are they still going to have that same momentum with her, or is this just like a flash in the pan type of thing?
Yes and no. You want to know what I see happening? She's going to have a short career, 5 years at most, because she's going to end up going to Hollywood.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can see it. She's going to be a movie star.
I see that. I think, like, my thing is, again, like, as for her wrestling career, I don't want them to be like, ooh, Jade, great, amazing Jade, and then like put her in the main event picture for like a hot second and then just drop her back down.
I see she just won tag belts with Bianca. They're eventually going to lose them. She's probably going to have a feud with Bianca. It's already written there.
Yeah.
She's probably going to win a Rumble. She is going to win the women's title at a WrestleMania. Eventually lose the women's title. Maybe have like, she's going to have a money feud with Rhea. There's Becky. There's Charlotte. There's a couple of money feuds for her to have. Once she has those money feuds, about 5 years or so, give it 5 years or so, because how old is she? She's young.
She's very young, yeah.
So, but give it 5 years or so, she's going to be a fucking movie star. 3 to 5 years. I can see her kind of still wrestling. And she's 31 right now. That's crazy. Holy shit. I thought she was a little younger than that. But she's 31. So yeah, she's in her prime. She's early 30s is a wrestler's prime right now. In the year of 2024, that is a wrestler's prime. So yeah, give her 5 years. She'll be 36. She'll be doing movies.
No, I can see that.
But I just
always worry about
in shorter time too.
I just always worry about like the women's booking in WWE. That's always my biggest thing, is like, you know, obviously I'm not going to sit here and worry about Cody Rhodes not being main event star the whole time, because he's always going to be. But when we look at Jade, I worry about that. You know what I mean? Because like, I mean, they could even say that like, oh, well, she's in her 30s type of thing. She's had a short career already.
But look at like Becky and Charlotte and even Rhea, like,
but how long have they been wrestling?
That is true.
You know what I mean? Like,
that is true.
It's kind of like a DDP type of thing, if you will, of just like, he started his career a little bit later. She's only been wrestling
Batista.
Yeah.
He started wrestling at the age of 30. Well, so did DDP, but like, it's easier to make an example of Batista. It's Batista. He didn't really have that long of a career. It was like 10 years, and then he went and made movies.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I just don't want them to fumble her or drop her, and they're not yet, which I'm very happy about.
I don't think they are.
I hope not, especially in like the hands of like Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine. But I like, you know, WWE has broken my trust for a very long time, so I'm always very weary about this, especially when it's people that like I genuinely think are absolutely fantastic fucking talents. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, again, like, it's just one of those things where, like...
I think that's why they're being really careful with her right now. So, but, yeah, just remember that quote. I see Jade Cargill doing movies.
Yeah. Oh, no. Hands down. Hands down.
And that's nothing against, like, her wrestling or anything. I love her. But I like, look at her. She's gonna be a fucking movie star.
She's beautiful. And again, she's even got it with, like, you know, the wrestling promos of, like, her presence and whatnot. Like, she can easily be, like, in fucking movies. Yeah. Hands fucking down.
She's gonna be a movie star.
I could see it. I definitely see it. She has that it factor to her.
Yeah.
And, you know, any deniers out there, you could fight me in the parking lot about it.
Do you have a favorite Jade Cargill match to close this out?
I mean, I would say up there with Deeb, even though I did think Deeb was going to take the belt off of her, just because, like, Deeb is so fucking good. So fucking good. And honestly, even her last match with Chris, it was very bittersweet. We knew what was going to happen, but, like, two fantastic fucking women together.
Had to put it on a fucking episode of Rampage.
Dude, tore the fucking house down. Like, just incredible. You know what I mean? And the ending of that match, too, like, you know, where it was just kind of, like, Jade, like, passing over the TBS torch to her and whatnot, and just being like, that's yours now, thank you. Like, it was very emotional, and it was, like, very heartwarming. Oh. With that being said, we are running into Raw right now, so we're gonna have to close this out. Any final thoughts about Jade, Dylan?
She's gonna be a movie star someday.
All right.
I love her. No, she's great. I love her. I enjoy seeing the growth of her.
Yeah.
So, I think it's only up for her from here.
That's fair.
So
I see that.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to tell you where you can find us on the internet in case you like us and want to continue following us. If you want to find me on the internet that's not here, you can follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter at the same handle, which is Lungtar. That is LUNG_TAR. Matt Jackson just posted me on his story. It's not going to be up when this video goes up, but he did. So thanks for that, buddy. He shared my finds of the figures. My Twitter's been filled of me complaining about trying to find these figures as well, so that's going to clearly die down soon. But if you like hearing my voice and also want to see my voice matched with my face, you could follow me on my TikTok, which is LungBucks. That is LUNG_BUCKS. And yes, it is a play on the Young Bucks. If you haven't figured that out already, I'm a huge fucking Young Bucks mark. So take that as you will, and Dylan, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at DannyValo, DANI_line, VALO_line. I just post random things here and there on Instagram. You can try to follow me on Twitter. I just post random things on Twitter. It's really nothing. I make fun of Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp all the time on Twitter, and IWC fucking idiots and everything. Where can you find the podcast, though?
Yes, if you want to find the podcast on Instagram, you can find us at Talkin Wrasslin Pod. That is TALKIN_WRASSLIN_POD. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment on this video. Feel free to hit us up on Instagram. I run it. I do my best, but I am, alas, just a guy. So, you know, that is what it is. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, share, send this video to your family, your friends, your neighbors that you hate so goddamn much because you just want them to fucking tear their ears and eyeballs out of their fucking head. And I don't know, maybe send it to your grandpa that hasn't watched wrestling since the territory days. I don't fucking know. But anyway, with that being said, we are getting out of this package of Backlash and what has happened there, so we're going to sit down and watch Raw. And thank you guys so much for listening, watching, and taking time out of your day to hear what we have to say. And until next time, when Dylan is the host, we will see you later, I guess.
Bye!
Goodbye!